Flip the Script podcast,
where you tell us your opinions and we let them be heard. My name is Kushi and I'm your head girl.
Hello, my name is Pravat and I'll be reporting to you the daily news of our school.
Hi, my name is Hanif and I'm going to be your Diva correspondent.
Hi, my name is Katra and I'm going to be your Student Council correspondent.
Hi, my name's Lamar and I'll be the Sixth Form Senior Leadership Team correspondent.
Hi, my name is Daniel, and as head boy, I'll bring you all the information regarding the sixth form.
So let's flip the script.
And today, our topic of conversation is culture. Now, does Preston Manor need a culture day? And what does culture mean to you?
I think culture gives someone some identity, because in a place, especially in London, where there's so many different people, to have a unique culture gives you a unique identity.
Yes, but isn't there loads of people with the same culture? Does that really keep them as unique?
Yeah, it still does. I mean, it's different to other people.
Yeah, and I mean, it doesn't mean you can't showcase your culture just because there are other people who have the same culture as you. If not, that makes a community and there's more to celebrate that way.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, even though it may be the same culture, you may have only had an upbringing on certain aspects of it. So it may be a thing where, say for example, you meet someone that's the same culture as you and they teach you new things and stuff that you haven't learned or known about before. So yeah, it's just, understanding where you come from and the people that are there.
So, do you think Preston Manor needs a culture day?
I think it's because we don't really showcase our cultures that much. So if we're able to just, show up a little bit of who we are inside, it gives everybody a different perspective of who we are.
Yeah, definitely. I think it gives people opportunity to express themselves. Sort of, 5 minutes down the road, I can go to Taste of Lahore, but am I necessarily expressing my culture? This culture day would give all the students an opportunity to do that and express themselves in a way which would benefit them, and we could each bounce off of each other and learn about each other's cultures and bring us closer together as a community.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what Daniel was saying, and it's like, especially with Brent being the most diverse borough within London, I think that, we should be able to showcase it to numbers are just like, we may not take them in as much, but if we can visually see the difference and, the diversity within just our school community alone, you can really give an eye to people on what exactly being from Brent really is.
So what does Culture Day look like to you? I mean, do you think we're going to have food stores, dress, in terms of what clothing we wear? Because I personally think if it's just us dressing up, it's not giving us the full essence of Culture Day. I think we need to do more than that. So do you guys have any ideas on what we could do for Culture Day?
You can bring in your own things from your own culture into school. You showcase them, such as things as food, not as well as clothing, food and things like that.
Definitely agree. And I think that, especially with fashion itself, is something that it's a way that people express how they are, how their mood is. So it's just, being able to embrace where you're from, just that alone, it can really, can do so much for people. And we should definitely have food stalls, possibly an event after school where we just get to, showcase, bring everything together. So yeah, I know that, with COVID, it may be very restricted, but, I really hope that, something could happen to just show that, because, different year groups don't interact with each other as much, and specific year groups may have more cultures than others or more of the same culture. So yeah, it's just being able to see the difference.
Also, a big thing with most cultures is the performances and having different guests with different backgrounds.
Yeah, you could also invite the music, the food, everything. It's not only about clothes. You could also do where you could have a bunch of cultures in a bowl and then pick one out to read a fact about or participate in class about.
Yeah, definitely. Anything that we can sort of learn about different cultures and sort of bring us closer together, because there's more to culture than just clothing, more than just food, more than just the the music, especially like crafts and poetry, the literature that comes with each culture is also very unique, and I think we should all showcase that.
I have a question for you guys. Have you ever struggled to come to terms with your culture, or have you ever felt embarrassed by it?
I'm someone that has been able to embrace my culture from a very young age, and as a Jamaican person, I think that it's a lot more accepting. So yeah, me personally, I haven't, but I feel like if I was in a situation where I was to feel embarrassed or not be in a position where I can respectfully express myself, I'd communicate to the person or to the people about how significant my culture has played a role in me becoming the person that I am.
Me personally, I grew up not in Brent. I grew up in a predominantly white area where I was the only person of colour, and so it was kind of embarrassing sometimes to share my culture because it was very different to everyone else's. So I think something like Culture Day would be really important to encourage other people to be proud of their identities, because I think that's something so specific to Brent, the fact that we have so many different cultures in one area.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when it comes to culture, I think the first step you could do is to accept it, because I remember 5 years ago, people would use banana and rice to cuss my culture, but then now non-Somalis are using the words in their rap or their music. It's just, I think if the society learns how to accept a certain culture, you'll be accepted. So if you accept yourself, then nothing can really.
Yeah, definitely. It makes people feel a lot more welcome. And for me, I was born in Pakistan, and I've never really had a problem with my culture. In fact, I've actually been proud of it. I'm proud to say I'm Pakistani, whether it's in cricket or just in general. I'm always proud just to walk around in my clothing, if that may be. And I want others to feel the same way, because it's important to be proud and feel comfortable as a person about who you are, where you come from, and not be ashamed about it.
Yeah, and I think that, culture, especially within Britain, is something that is, it's a lot more harder to describe. I think that the more that different people from different countries begin to migrate here, it's a definition that's being redefined constantly. So I think that having British culture itself is more significant to people that don't look like any of us when they look at it from their perspective. From ours, that is everything just coming together into one big collective and just being represented.
Because we're all obviously nationals of Britain, what does British culture look like to you, and how is it different to, let's say, a traditional white person, and how can we implement our own cultures with our British side too?
Well, for me, British culture is, just being able to be in a room with a different amount of people from different places, and, all of us just coming together as one. But I think that for a traditional British person, that would be more of them seeing people that look exactly like them, that live the same lifestyle, that have similar lives. But yeah, being someone from Brent that isn't necessarily the most high when it comes to social class, I feel that it's very easy for me to resonate and understand the people that are around me.
I think being from Brent, we're able to create this whole new culture ourselves with how diverse we become, and everybody's taking snippets of each other. So how would we keep our own culture whilst also ingraining into the new culture that we create that welcomes everybody?
Personally, I think this Culture Day is a great idea just for that, because it sort of serves as a reminder of where we come from, what we like, and just our ideals, our morals. Every single culture has its own specific morals, and all of them, they carry their own sort of importance in our lives. And it's good to remind ourselves of that. And this Culture Day will allow us to achieve it. So I say, personally, we go through with it.
But do you think we should celebrate culture for only one day? Or do you think it's something that should be celebrated often?
I think that just by having a culture day, it doesn't mean that we're not going to celebrate it any other day. It's more of a point where you can just highlight it or put more emphasis on it. I think we should embrace culture every day just by, being able to be ourselves, talk our own language, eat our own food. I think those tiny things automatically make us celebrate culture, but just being able to showcase it to everyone else, I think that's what's really important. And so maybe by having a culture day, it will encourage others to appreciate their culture more.
No, I definitely agree with what Kushi said, meaning that people would appreciate their culture more, because I feel that people, when they see other people embracing theirs, you see they don't want to feel left out, so they'll be more eager to embrace theirs. And with that, it may be them understanding exactly what they wear, how they wear it. And yeah, it's just, gaining acceptance with the culture that you're from.
Now, about feeling left out, let's say, what will other people say if let's say they have nothing to show? How do we respond to that?
I don't think there's ever nothing to show. We all have a place where we come from, no matter what.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, we all learn something new. We all see something new. And this is one of the many discussions we will have here.
Yeah, I think that was a really, really important discussion to have. I think Culture Day would benefit Preston Manor in so many different ways, starting off by just celebrating the school community, because we've got so many cultures. Even just looking around right now, I see so many different people, and it's really interesting, and I would love to learn more about your cultures.
If you want to join our podcast, we have a BAME box where you can make suggestions, or you can drop your name in the box and be a part of the show. We will draw out a name, and whoever's name that comes out of the box will be a special guest on next week's episode. Thank you for tuning in.